We finally had an update in The Sims 4 after 3 or 4 weeks of waiting. Unfortunately, most of the more game-breaking bugs people have been experiencing were not addressed in this patch, but since we've been talking about mods recently on my channel a lot, I wanted to go over what my process is for backing up my mods and how I go through and make sure all of my mods are up to date before starting in the game again. There are many guides on the internet on how to do this, but this is the personal method that I've been using over the last several months, and I have to do it anyway, so why not just show everyone how I do it personally. So the first place we are going to start is simsvip.com. And honestly, this is my favorite resource for keeping up to date for mods, and you're going to see why soon. After every single patch, there will be an article for broken and updated mods. This page has a lot of really helpful information. You could go over the patch notes. You could see a guide on how to back up your saves, because that's also really important anytime there's a patch that comes out. And if you're personally having issues with your mods, there are a few servers that are listed here. So if you have Discord, you can go on here, and there's a really helpful community on there. But we're going to scroll down to just right here, compiled mods list. And again, lots of really helpful information here, but I always go straight to this link just because I've read over all of this a million times. If this is your first time viewing this post, I recommend reading everything. It's all very helpful. But if you come down here, you will see a full list of mods with various statuses. Now, this doesn't include all mods ever created, but it includes a vast majority of them, including the most common mods that people tend to use. So what I've done is essentially made almost a copy of this spreadsheet's format just to include the mods that I typically use. So this is my spreadsheet of some of the mods that I'm currently using, and we have all the previous statuses from before this latest patch. So essentially what I'm going to do is cross-reference both of these sheets, update all my statuses, and we're going to clean up the mods folder. So your mods folder is located in your documents, electronic arts, Sims 4, and then mods. Everyone has a mods folder if they've played at least one time. There may just not be anything in it. But this is what mine looks like, and please don't judge my organization. I know there's better ways, but this is how I like to do it. So this is the standard mods folder, and I've also made a backups folder. So I have my own separate folder where I keep a lot of either my backed up things or CC that's not currently in the game, but I like to keep it organized in case I ever want to add things back. I already have my saves all backed up, and now we're going to move over our mods. And for me, I only bring over the actual game modifications. I don't do custom content because usually custom content and build by stuff is generally fine. Not always, but usually. So I just highlight all the ones I want to bring over, and if you hold down the control key while you click each of them, it will just select all of them. Then I do Control C for copy and Control V for paste. So now I have all of my mods and all of their folders, and then I just go through and delete all the contents of what's inside the folders in my regular mods folder. Because for me, I just like having all of the folders still exist in the mods, and then I just add everything back in. So all these folders, except for my standard custom content, all these folders are empty. So now we have the fun time of cross-referencing the spreadsheet. So before we get started, I reorganized my sheet by creators, because generally the mod creator, if they do a bunch of mods, they will go through all their mods and confirm, yes, this is compatible, no, this isn't compatible. I know Little Miss Sam is one of those people that they just clear all their mods all at once. So we're going to go creator by creator. And if I just copy the name and then go over to the main Sims VIP spreadsheet, you hit Control F for the find feature, Control V for paste, and it will take you down to that mod. And right now, the status for this one is unknown, which means I don't know if it's safe or not to keep it in my game. So I'm changing the status on my sheet to unknown. I go down to the next one, and the preteen mod is also status unknown. And this is generally the theme of what happens. So I'm just going to steadily make my way down this list. Okay, so we're all caught up, and I have a small table up here that allows me to easily see the status of my mods. So there is one that's confirmed broken, 15 unknown, 27 compatible, and 2 that have already had updates. So I'm going to open the ones that have updates. I'm just going to download those new versions, put them in their place, and then we'll go through, and all the ones that we know are compatible, we will place them back in the mods folder. And I've made it really easy for myself because I have a drop down right here for where I actually place that file. So most of these are in just the mods folder, in a folder that is specific to the creator. But some of the ones that I just have 1 or 2 miscellaneous mods from those creators, I keep them in other folders like gameplay, UI changes, and miscellaneous small tweaks. So now I'm going to just look at the ones that are compatible, and we're going to place them back where they belong. So this first one is located in my mods folder. So I see it located here in my main mods, and then over here in my backup mods. And I see that this mod is the only one in this folder. So I could just click and drag. And since the folder is the same exact name, it just drops the files right in there. So then this next one is in my miscellaneous folder. So I just go to my miscellaneous folder, I locate the file, and then I could just drag and drop it into this folder. We can see that it's now in there all by its lonesome. I just kind of continue down the list, and I could see right here that all of my mods by Little Miss Sam are compatible. So I could just go to my Little Miss Sam folder, click and drag, and once again, since the name is the exact same, all of my Little Miss Sam mods show up in their folder. So I'm just going to keep going down and moving over all of the mods that I have that are still compatible. Okay, so that is everything that is still compatible. And then I have my 2 newly downloaded mods that were updated. I'll go to my downloads. And here we are with MC Command Center. And I could just select all of these, drag and drop into the MCCC folder. They're all in there. And then the next one is UI cheats. Again, just highlight and put them into the folder that they go into. And then as a visual reminder, I put when I know I last updated the mod. I also have one mod that was called obsolete. So this is one of the actually very few bugs that was fixed in the recent patch. And it's the no T-posing during childbirth. So for this one, I no longer need it. So I'm just gonna delete it from my sheet so that I no longer am looking after that mod. The last step in all of this is actually to delete your cache file in your Sims 4 file. It's similar to like your browser cache, where your game just holds on to certain settings in order to load faster. So this cache file, even if you've updated all of your mods, it could still cause issues because your game will think that it's loading in those previous mods or those previous settings, but that it doesn't match up. So you just delete this and it will reload when you actually load up the game. You will also want to delete anything in your cache folder that ends in a .cache file. All of mine right now are just JPEGs, so these shouldn't cause any issues. And then you will also want to go to the cache stir. I don't know if it's one word or cache str, and you will want to delete any files in here as well, but you do not delete any of the folders themselves. So that's pretty much it. So if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing everyone's feedback. And if you have suggestions for other ways to keep your mods folder updated, also let me know down in the comments. Because again, there are always a million ways to do something. It's just all about what works best for you. If you're curious how I set up my spreadsheet, I'm not going to give a full overview of Google Sheets, but for the dropdowns, you will use data validation. For the colors based on what is in the cell, you will use conditional formatting. And the formulas that I use to count the mods by their status is the count if feature. And again, the website where you can view all of this is Sims VIP, and that of course I will leave a link to in the description below. I highly recommend bookmarking this page and coming back every few days just to check and see if any of the mods that were unknown are now either identified as compatible, confirmed broken, or if they've had an update. So I'll just go through every few days and update them as I see the updates. If you find these kinds of videos helpful and there's any other overviews you'd like to see, let me know, and I'm happy to show you if it's something that I actually know how to do. But one of the great things about the Sims community is just how collaborative everything is. So even if I don't know how to do it, I may mention a resource on where you can see how to do it yourself. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.